And we're back. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Internet.
We return.
I'm going to show off some fan art.
What if we showed you guys some fan art of the cool stuff that was drawn?
This is Throckmaw from way back when we faced off against the Hydra Goose.
And that, of
Yeah.
course, is Throckmaw without his like wings and claws.
And big
But
beefy arm.
it was the first time he was ever summoned, and Lara was watching the stream, and he was summoned against the Hydra Goose.
That's
And
how
then-
I don't know what's scarier. I think the Hydra Goose is scarier.
Yeah, the mini-headed cobra chicken, as it's
Yeah.
also known.
We have what has become of Morgan? The terrifying
Morgan is now
specter.
a terrifying cryptid.
Ooh. Cryptid in a house coat.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
a well-dressed cryptid, but still a cryptid.
Next time you have a sleep paralysis, it's just going to be Morgan
Yeah.
reciting different memes to you
Oh no.
and just like having fun with echolalia. There will be a lot of so have fun with that.
amazing.
So yeah, we left off before the break with
Yeah.
y'all running down the wall as Throckmaw starts exploding some attacks against undead things up there. Just for funsies, Perny, go ahead and roll me the initial fire breath attack, which is 6d6 damage, dex save for half. And that is a failed dex save.
20.
20 damage. Roll me a d6 and tell me if it's a 5 or a 6.
It's not.
Okay, so he doesn't get to redo it. He does it once. However, 20 damage actually takes out the one that was charging you guys.
Nice.
My sister said that Morgan looks like a chupacabra.
Yes, that's what I was trying to
Indeed.
think of. I was like,
Oh,
you look like a
God.
goat sucker, but I didn't want to say
Yeah,
I mean, she
that's-
kind of
that's good.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a goat and a sucker
yeah.
That's probably
of
like
certain things.
that's definitely
Just
a slur
different kind
in
of
world. Like
goat sucker.
you're not supposed to say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
I guess, yeah, it depends on what goat is. If sucker is modifying goat, or goat is modifying sucker.
Well, I imagine goat is like a slur against satyrs.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is like a sucker who is a goat, or
Mhm.
a sucker who sucks goats, depending on which noun. Because English has that weird thing where it's like mixing some Latin languages and then
Yeah.
also a bunch of Germanic roots. Like it's like can you just do a big noun stack like they do in German, and
Also-
people will kind of figure out what it means.
What's
Goat
the
suckers. The
what's the
episode title.
saving throw for what's the saving throw for Copernicus or for the demon to break free?
No.
Charisma.
No, what is it? Your
Oh,
DC.
17 and it's disadvantage.
Yeah, so he has a +2 and disadvantage.
Yeah.
And he needs a 17. Hell, that almost made it, but didn't. And that doesn't. I'm just kind of doing a quick. How many rounds does it matter?
Right.
Right.
I'm already up to 7 rounds. 8 rounds. I've rolled like some really good rolls, but they're always coupled with a really bad one. Like there's a nat 20, but
Ooh.
a 5 to go with it. There's an 18 with a 1 to go with it. Yeah, he's going to be there for as long as it takes, I think.
Great.
So, meanwhile, down here, Ollie comes bounding up, slightly torn up with awful cold attack claws, but generally in good shape. The maestro is thrown almost immediately from Trey's back as he comes loping and barging over towards Ugna.
I think
And Ugna
think-
like drops the armload of all the rest of you to go. Trey!
Morgan literally runs screaming into the woods, I think,
Oh,
to
no.
escape everyone.
It's like, yeah, new people
Yeah.
to meet you like this.
Oh no.
No.
Okay, hold on.
She
I'm
is
gonna
literally crashing out, screaming, and
Oh,
running into the woods.
Let me roll a wisdom saving throw real fast to see if I can
And
pull
I'm-
back what I want to yell.
Sure.
I did not make that.
Let's do it.
Later, cue ball.
Uh,
Oh.
shut up, shrivel dick, and that's gonna be a vicious mockery to you.
Vicious mockery.
Yeah.
Cue
Oh,
ball
I can do that right back.
Yeah.
All right. Let's have everybody make saving throws. Well, not everybody, but the two of you.
Yeah, because I have 5 hit points left.
Vicious
Also,
mocking each other.
Let's just get let's get a vicious mockery fight. Let's get so it's just a wisdom saving throw.
18.
So
for
each
me.
of you go ahead and make a wisdom save.
16.
18 plus.
16 will not make it. 18 will. So 1d4 psychic damage is it for
That's fair.
Tromlin takes 1d4 psychic damage and disadvantage on his next attack roll, but it's irrelevant.
Also, I'm probably still blasting wild magic stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, actually,
Oh no.
why don't you roll me a couple of? Let's just see
Oh,
what
no.
happens as you flee out into the woods, just in case there's some fireworks.
That's actually the reason she is fleeing into the woods, is so
How
that
many-
she isn't
How many
fireball
rolls?
people. Well, whatever the order this is going to be in,
Yep,
this
well,
is
just
a
give me the first
90.
Okay,
90 flat, actually. Okay.
both 90.
9 9 on the big dice, a 0 on the small.
Yeah, and then
and
what's
then
the second
the-
roll?
That's going to be
Because I
a
get to choose
10, I guess. Yeah.
1-0.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next one. I'm just going to set up a few and then say what happens.
65
And
3.
roll another 2 times.
That is a 31. That is a 17.
17.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 2 more times.
That's a 50. 50. Okay.
5-0.
And, yep. And a 7.
Okay, so here's what happens. You start fleeing. Tromlin yells, later, cue ball. You go, shut up, shrivel dick. And he takes some psychic damage. You then try to follow it up. And then Tromlin says something else because he did his vicious mockery. Any specific bon mot you wish to hang on the
No,
next one?
that's enough.
No, this is Tromlin's.
Oh.
Tromlin's response.
You can't run your hair.
You can't outrun your hair, but that one doesn't do any psychic damage. You then try to retort, and a completely different man's voice comes out of your mouth, like some random,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, will you shut up?"
Yeah.
And then you're just like horrified. You kind of try to like suppress that, but now you can't talk at all, and just like a string of pink bubbles spews forth. A number of random magic missiles shoot off in random directions as you flee. You kind of try to do a final retort, but instead you just vomit a mass of poison as dragon breath goes off. And so
Cool.
within 15 feet of you, there's nobody there, but you just massively vomit up a
Every
dragon's
action she's
poison
taking is
attack.
to run away because, like,
Yep,
she can
for
do a
sure.
lot of damage, but just
Oh,
if she
yeah.
had to use her own spell
Yep.
against
Oh,
somebody.
yeah.
So,
For sure. I mean, one of those ones you rolled was like two things happen.
mhm.
Um, you start like floating through the air. So as you run, you're also like being wafted about by the winds and are sort of flying in random directions, but still away. And then you disappear entirely as you turn invisible.
Cool.
Well, magic yourself
And
right
that'll
out
be
of
the last
existence.
thing that anybody sees.
Yeah.
Because you become invisible for a full minute
Wow.
and also can't be heard.
That's definitely just like crawling into yourself after exploding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perny will send like a little open Perny net link to be like, it seems like you want some alone time, but things are dangerous out there, so please just check in. Let us know how you're doing. I don't want to invade your privacy.
I think you
Okay,
just
so
get a bunch of middle finger runes.
Good.
Like,
Important though that you didn't roll any other permanent effects.
yeah, that was a lot of.
Yeah.
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 No permanent, no changes to your size or age or coloration beyond that.
How long until I'm no longer undead? Is that changing at all?
I'll come back to that.
I don't like how you are saying
Nope.
that.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to remember
Meanwhile,
which number
Ugna
that
is
was.
completely enveloped in owlbear, I'm sure. I am Trey, oh my god, you're big. How did this happen? And just like hugging him and rubbing my
He
face on
does
his
not
feathers.
appear to be a young owlbear. He looks
Ooh.
like he's not just like a giant version of the baby
Of a
owlbear
baby.
that he
He's a big boy.
was.
Okay, so this is
Yeah.
not a Honey I Shrunk the Kids situation.
No, this is a big
Or
boy.
Honey I Blew Up the
No.
Kids.
He grew
And
up.
Aurelia the Gold will totter over with her little staff and her tiny little halfling legs. Doop, 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 doop,
We're
doop,
like
doop.
rolling around on the ground. I'm like fuzzing his head. He's swatting at me.
Oh dear, is your friend all right? Looked like she had a few curses.
Yeah, she occasionally has some challenges with wild magic, but just as often she has strokes of brilliance with them.
Oh
And
yes, wild magic. Yes.
we'll just give her
Meanwhile,
a little bit of time.
Dangalf comes over to Ugna and says, "My apologies. The young apprentice who was caring for your actually, owlbears are an abomination, right? Is that the creature type? Aberration? I mean, not
So.
abomination.
Yeah, aberration. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he says, a young apprentice who is taking care of your aberration made an error and mixed up an aging potion with the vitamin E supplements that we were keeping him on for to glossy your coat. But doesn't seem to have done him any harm. He simply we got a few years on in there. Not enough to cause any damage.
Oh. Ugna like we'll take a look at him and be like, "Oh, buddy, you look great, but I keep losing years that I could have had with friends. Sucks."
Yeah, I guess that is going
You
around.
tell Mickey I'm gonna have words with him later, okay?
How did you know it was Mickey?
It's always
It was in
Mickey.
fact
Who else
young
would it
Mickey
be?
Carter.
Yeah, it's always Mickey.
Oh, I
Hey,
just
Mickey.
figured you'd get the guy who's knows the most about owlbears to look after Trey here, and that'd be Mickey.
He did write a dissertation on them, yes. He says that he's a rather large specimen as well.
What if that was something in the potion?
No,
It's just real healthy.
just seems larger than average, I suppose.
I'm just.
I suppose it might have something to. He was being fed well on a high nutrient,
Yeah, mayonnaise.
aberration chow, the sort of thing you feed to the young ones so that they'll grow up healthier. So it might be that the combination of the potion with the high nutrient diet meant that he aged as though he had been on a high protein diet.
Perny is already like trying to co-author a paper with Mickey where the title is like "Big Boys,
Amazing.
thick kids,
Owlbear gains.
and owlbear gains."
I give him a little punch in the shoulder, and I'm like, "You and me, Trey, high protein diet." Yeah.
Yep.
Like put up his paw, so he's doing a little flex.
He's like biting at you with his beak
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. He draws
It's-
blood, but nothing.
It's like having a human-sized Pico around, I'm sure, for Ugna.
Or a Clydesdale-sized Pico
Oh,
around.
God. That's too much Pico.
No, he's big enough that you could ride him.
Oh my god. And maybe I will.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll remind you too. He's the strain. You went to the
Oh,
to the
that's
Great
right.
Northern Woods.
Yeah, we got the horned owl bears. The
Yes, this is a great horned owl bear
Oof.
that have
Big
the
boy.
bodies of grizzlies.
We picked the biggest owl bear.
Kodiaks. Yep. They're not the biggest owl bear. The biggest owl bear are the snowy owl bears,
Oh, that's
but
true.
they're
Snowy polar
rare.
bears. Yeah.
Well, I'll yell up to the maestro, cousin. It seems you've managed to find a comfortable way to mount our owl bear friend here. Tell me about
Oh,
this
that.
latest invention of his prosthetic.
Nothing new. Oh, the prosthetic. I just made a bigger one. They brought him along, and he had that little tiny little peggy thing on, and it was very, very difficult for him to get around. So I made a larger one. But the saddle, I had several of those around for various kind of monster riding. It took me no time at all to modify it to fit the owlbear. But what this gathering council that you're putting together, I'm very surprised that you decided to have it at such a strange hour.
I will cut him off right there because I think at this point Ugna has extracted herself from Trey and is just swept over to give him a great big hug. I've picked up the maestro, I've spun him
Whoa!
around.
Oh my word!
And I'll pat him on the head and sit him back down, but thanks, this is amazing. Oh, you looked after him so good, his leg looks great.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Now, cousin, I believe in the instructions I'd sent that we would be meeting on the morrow. So may I ask? It sounds like you believe you're.
You look over, and Dangalf has got some kind of device around his wrist that he's like shaking and listening to.
Okay, so I go over to my friends and I'm like, I will bet you 5 gold pieces. He says a wizard. He relies on the wizard is never late, nor is he early line. Dangolf, I
No,
don't
I'm
believe
not
you're on
about that.
time.
Well, you know how it is. Wizards are always late. Something.
Damn it!
Um,
I hand Tromlin 20 gold. You're gonna 20 gold.
He tried to rely on it, but he fucked it up.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'm so glad.
Aurelia will hit him in the knee with her stick and say, "It's never late or early.
I like
We
pause.
normally arrive precisely when we mean to, unless you're a senile old man." Okay.
Well, I'm certainly glad you arrived when you did, because we found ourselves in a bit of a sticky pickle here.
I'm assuming that there's a little healing going on during this conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
use up my all my first level
Yeah.
spells. Whatever I've got
Lucretia has
left.
3 hit points. And
Yeah.
Copernicus has a few more. Ugna's got a little more. Although at this point, Ugna can like full on. I think. Did you already second wind?
I believe I did. I
think
was
you
like
did.
completely out of everything.
I think you did.
But like
Yeah.
even with just a short
I did.
rest here, you're gonna be
Yeah.
able to healing surge. But yeah, Elgato will, having been sort of standing off near the Thieves Guild thieves and whispering, will come step a little closer and say, "What were those things? They are
I'm
a terrible, powerful kind of undead I have never seen before."
I'm not entirely sure myself. We're starting to discover that in the space between worlds there is a matter, an energy, and a terrible nothing with which we find ourselves confronted. And we are learning more about it. I have more reading to do on the subject, and it's part of why I want to call together as many of the minds, brilliant minds, as I can, so we can find out what we know about this and where to go to learn more. I believe our next stop will be the Library of the Monks of Throm. But first, we must hold the council, learn what we know, and decide what is best to do next.
Sextus, who has only not been attacked by your coming friends, by the various guild members saying, no, he's on our side, as he was
Okay,
launching
I'll-
his
Yeah.
radiant bolts.
I
What
think
were you
we're
saying,
going to
sorry?
do. I think we're going to do some kind of LARP rules where we all pick a color armband to wear, just so we can tell who's on what side when we're swinging the boffers. But yes, I think we'll have to hold the council. I think the council will reveal a lot. There are many forces at work, and most of them are beyond my comprehension. And I hope collectively we can figure out exactly what's going on.
Sextus will silently aid Lucretia with a poultice that she's trying to like regain more hit points. She nods in thanks, Tromlin, when you cast a healing spell on her as well.
Of course.
And she will say, I take it these are friends of yours?
Oh, yes. Lucretia, please meet Elgato, the folk hero of the South. This
He
is
sweeps his hat off in a huge arc and says, the honor of this meeting is mine, fair lady.
and of course, you know our cousin, the Maestro, although I'm sure it's been some time since you have seen each other and had a chance to catch up.
Yes, of course. We exchange letters every few months.
And then I believe you know by reputation Dangolf the Dun and Aurelia the Gold of the Wizard's Vale.
She, her lips are very tightly pursed as she nods. You'll recall she referred
right.
to the Wizards of the Vale as those fools.
Yeah,
But
Well, they're here.
she's also a good diplomat.
also they're here.
And of course, this is my daughter, Lucretia, mistress of the house here in Morwindle.
Oh, and I suppose I should remind you all that in addition to the guild thieves that came from Ravenfall, there's also
Barbarians.
Yes.
the Chillwind. One of the Chillwind warriors fell, and likely early enough that he was unable to make it through death saves. But there's still the female Chillwind's warrior, and of course, your former fiance, Morgan.
Nowhere near there. I don't know what you're talking about.
All
Me.
the more
Yeah,
reason
you're
to run
not
screaming
there.
into
God,
the
even
woods.
more
I'm just
reason
like-
not to be here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's that guy. I'm trying to remember his name.
Afon.
Ifan, right.
Morgan hears that one of the Chillwinds died on the way in and is like, yeah, which one? What did he look like?
Oh, not the right one.
Yeah, so perhaps we can arrange rooms for all of our early guests and
Yeah, Tromlin can probably introduce. Tromlin, of course, knows is the only one who knows Eurus Gale, but can introduce him as a member of the Thieves Guild of Ravenfall. Um, yeah. So I think we're going to wrap up here as you sort of start trying to kind of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
There's one more thing that I want to do. I think I want to pull Tromlin aside at some point before the night is done. So if you want to narrate and just let me know where my moment would be, Perny wants to have a little bit of a stern word with his grandson for the first time.
Ooh.
Well, so yeah, Lucretia and Slugworth comes out of the floorboards again, as does Cuttlespoon, and Lucretia sets about having the guests set up. The wizards are like, no need, dearie, and Aurelia the Golden goes out into the yard and pulls like an instant mini tower out of her robe that just like grows into a little wizard's tower, which gets some very kind of like even tighter. You didn't think Lucretia's lips could get any tighter, but they do. Just a straight line, and they settle in. They're feted, and Ozymandias lie down, or Ozymandias lie down and have a licking each other's wounds, generally curling up to go to sleep and rest. Lucretia puts up all these various other guests in rooms on the main floor. There's plenty of random chambers and guest rooms in this creepy old house. And would Morgan come back after the wave of wild magic subsides, or would you wait?
Absolutely not.
My
Okay.
thing might be
Absolutely not.
relevant to this.
All
My
right.
thing
In that case, as Lucretia is finalizing kind of rooms and off, Lucretia and Sextus and the house staff are dealing with guests. Fetid and Ollie have gone to get some rest. Ugna is checking out Trey.
I'm like
Um,
playing fetch with him.
and you have a clear moment alone.
Grand Nugget.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, thank you for healing and for saving me. I really do appreciate it. But how that battle ended with Morgan, I know that she cares about how she looks, and so when something happens with her appearance, it's so easy, especially with someone as quick as your wit. But she what 3 days ago when she faced the demon alone to save all of us, and there she was preferring to have all of the vast and wild power of sorcery potentially rip her body to shreds rather than give up fighting for her friends. And I think it means something when the first thing that you say to her coming out of that is to take a jab when she's down. And I know it's the heat of battle, and I know she looks a little bit like a cue ball. We all know it. That's the problem. We all know it, but we're not supposed to say it because we're, as her friends and for all that she's done for us. I think the least that we have to do is offer her a bit of dignity when she's down in those moments. I feel we owe her at least that. So you have such a gift with words. If there was a way that you could see to make it right, I just would hope that you could.
Tromlin takes a long breath and says, "How often does she openly antagonize and insult everyone?"
It happens sometimes. It happens sometimes.
It happens a lot. If she can take it, she can take it. That's how it is. And yes, she's put her life on the line, but we've all done that.
Has she? I think that she strikes us when we're standing up, though, not when we're laying down.
She strikes at me every chance she gets. That being said, I will talk to her about it when she returns.
I would appreciate that.
And I will also prepare spells to see if I can help her get back to her normal appearance.
I'm sure she would appreciate that.
Since I know her ex-fiancé is here, and frankly, I'd rather her not have to deal with that piece of shit.
Fair.
Period. I just that's as far as Tron wants to say. Is like, I don't like her ex-fiancé. I think he's a piece of shit. So
So Morgan,
I'm inclined to agree.
Morgan. So out in the woods, the strange voice and the bubbles eventually pass. You notice in a reflection at one point that you seem to have gained a third eye in the middle of your forehead during this entire
oh my god,
crazy shit.
fuck! How do I...
You find yourself a place to just hole up in the woods. The small creatures
I think she's
crawl out.
sleeping in a tree.
Yeah, all of the sort of the small fairy creatures creep out, but they all kind of like avert their eyes and try not to look at you, but they set up like a little perimeter of guardianship around the tree you've chosen. You fall asleep, you have tumultuous dreams. But when you awaken, you find the eye in your forehead seems to have gone. You no longer are belching bubbles or sounding like a man, or the banana has disappeared. All of this weird stuff. However, you find that your hair has only begun to grow back. You have like a short stubble, and the undead effect is still there. I would like you to roll me a Arcana.
Oh no.
Right. That's a 12 plus my bonus.
You have a +6, so that's an 18. That's pretty good. So, regarding your hair, you remember that it had randomly turned bright pink. The hair that's growing back is your normal color. But you believe it will have to grow back at the normal rate of hair growth.
Yeah.
Which admittedly for you being a wild magic sorcerer is faster than most people. But is still like not overnight. So you're going to have like a shaved look for a while. Secondly, though, you still have this undead putrescence about you, and you feel that this is unto a magical curse or disease. You think this is going to require a restoration of some sort to remove. So this is going to require some magical fixing.
Oh, hey, we got some raiders. Hello, raiders.
Hello, raiders. Interesting choice of timing because we were just wrapping up, but
We were just finding out all of the curses that have befell our dear wild magic sorcerer.
I have a character question. How does poor Morgan get every fucking curse of this party?
well, I will say in this particular case,
Genuine out of character question. Like, is this a character trait, or are you just mad at Raven?
no, in this case, so you weren't here for the last game.
Yeah, this is a black token.
So, well, first of all, the
okay.
number one
Never
effect,
mind.
if you roll an 01, if you roll an 01 on the chart of wild magic, the effect is roll on this table at the start of each turn for the next minute. So that was the main thing, is that there was a wild magic effect every round for like a full minute.
I also have picked up a lot of curses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also just pick up random shit and eat it.
That's true.
Yep.
I had
But
3
the
months
reason
straight.
that was rolled, the deal with the black token was that Raven would roll on wild magic, but instead of rolling 2 rolls and getting to choose the best one, it was always 2 rolls and I get to choose the worst one. So that was the black token effect. But that is now passed, so the black token has been paid for.
It just feels
However,
like
that
poor
particular
Morgan
that
every
particular
session.
yeah, I mean, you could have rolled I would
Burgos?
actually argue that Raven got lucky because you could have
Yeah,
rolled
there's
some
some
of the
pretty
permanent
awful-
effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some
The
really
worst,
awful stuff on there.
yeah, the worst one you got was the undead one, which requires a greater restoration to heal.
Mhm.
But you
Third
could
one
have
wasn't
like had
great.
one of the,
But
yeah,
we all
the
survived. So
size
we're all right.
changed,
Mhm.
Oh,
permanent
I
change
just
to height or
realized-
age or.
I feel like black tokens are payday loans. You, Mr.
They
DM,
are.
are coming to our community when we are in a time of need and we do not have a
Yep.
lot of bargaining or leveraging power, and then we take one, and then when we have to pay it back,
have
we
to pay it
immediately
back.
need another one to pay it back with.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
Yep.
I will say, Copernicus and Tromlin both have black tokens outstanding, so
Yep.
nothing.
I just-
Only Fetid has a hero point.
Yeah.
It feels like anytime I
now.
miss a session, I come back
Fed-
and Morgan has
oh.
these 3 curses.
Fetid spent that hero point, by the
Oh,
way.
okay. I will
know.
get rid of that.
That was how he
Also,
and
I
his
just
group
realized if
came
I
to the
had
rescue.
Dead,
Oh, right.
it would have affected Morgan. Oh no.
Well, just
No,
to be
because
clear.
it doesn't actually make Morgan undead.
Just like it doesn't make
Okay.
your grandpa is not undead. He just appears that way.
Okay,
The entry says your skin rots and decomposes. You gain disadvantage on persuasion checks, but undead ignore you unless you attack them. This can be alleviated via a greater restoration spell.
It's interesting because now Morgan is incentivized to do everything either as a grand performance or as a lie, but like never don't try and persuade. Just
Don't
lie,
persuade.
lie or perform.
Subterfuge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Everything.
it for our game today. We'll pick up next time. Which I
Lynn,
think,
will be-
Alina, is it in 2 weeks or is it going to be a little weird? I know your
It might
schedule
be a
gets
little
crazy.
weird. I may be out of town, but we'll post on the Discord. Let's
You're
drop the
supposed to be
Discord
back on
link.
the 1st. You're supposed to be back the day before that, right? Or even the day before that.
Yeah.
That's the 30th or 31st, right? I
Yeah.
think that's when you're coming back. So we might be able to play on the 1st. We will find out. And we will post on the Discord. As always, I highly recommend that people check out the Discord.
You can see all the
you
art.
can see the link. Yeah, Tromlin got babies.
That's worse for me. That would be a
Link.
worst case scenario for my
Pregnant, and he's an
character,
impreg or
honestly.
thing.
Okay, so what am I rolling? For the art giveaway.
Roll a d20.
D20. I have rolled a 6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is Red Chris.
Nice.
Yay, Red Chris MS. You are going to be the lucky recipient of the next art giveaway. All right. Anyone got anything to shout out before we call it for this game?
I got something kind of cool.
Ooh.
So on Thursday we are doing a Deck of Worlds live stream with Chef Shane Chartrand, who's an
God,
indigenous
this is
chef.
so cool.
Yeah, and we're gonna be basically world building a fantasy cultures, like food culture, kind of with focus and inspiration from different indigenous food culture principles. He's also gonna be talking about his career as an indigenous chef in Canada and like bringing indigenous dishes and ingredients to the
So
forefront
jealous.
through like Top Chef Canada and a number of other shows. He's a phenomenal storyteller, really great speaker. We're really excited to have him. That's gonna be 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday on the Story Engine Deck YouTube channel.
Damn, that's
Now, is that
so
Top
cool.
Chef Canada or Top Chef Canada?
Top Chef Canada. I don't know what the difference is between the things you said.
So the newest season of Top Chef just dropped.
Right.
It's Top
And
Chef
by
USA.
random serendipity, this is the Top Chef USA, the original
Right.
show.
Okay.
Every season they base it in a new location.
Oh,
they
so
did
it's just
Top
Top
Chef
Chef.
Texas.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They
Canada.
did it in Canada. They filmed it last year
Yeah.
Right.
before all this happened. But so that's
Yep.
interesting.
So he has appeared on multiple shows. There's a chance he's in that, but I know for sure he was a semi-finalist in I
Chef
think the most
Canada.
recent season of Top Chef Canada, the actual Canadian show.
So I'm very curious to watch the new season of Top Chef for that reason.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to shout out a project?
Yeah, I will be playing on Once Upon a Reflection over on Altered Echo Archives this Friday. That's our Fairy Tale Friday game. I am playing just a mess of a rock star who is also kind of an ice elf. It's a lot of fun. We have a Chihuahua who is magic, and a vet. It's great. It's mwah. So come check us out. I'll drop the link in the chat.
Cool.
There we
I'm doing
go.
a bunch
Okay.
more animating these days. So check out my TikToks, Two Spirit Trickster on TikTok. Trying to post them on Blue Sky as well. You kind of have to like actually go to my profile to see them sometimes because this latest one I did with Ugna and Morgan dancing got
Too
restricted
sexy.
from the For You page because it
It's
was
Too
too hot.
sexy.
It's
Too
too hot.
sexy.
That,
Too sexy for
And-
Maine.
And
What?
of course,
did they actually put that was the reason that you got restricted?
Yeah.
It's
I
weird.
mean, there's an
Said,
F-bomb in it
yeah.
too,
you can
which
see
may
it
have
on the
contributed.
Discord though, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
Another
on
reason to join
Blue
the
Sky as
Discord.
well.
So, I don't know if anyone wants to pop a link to the Discord in the.
It's already there,
I see
'cause K2
Kaitu
is
already
great.
did it. Beat me to it.
super great.
Uh,
Our wonderful mod.
and always don't forget to check out all of our artists' amazing work online. Read
Up there.
Something Positive and Questionable Content and Popeye and Rock Paper Cynic and whatever else you want to read.
I'm gonna find
And
us
we will see you
someone
next
to
time.
raid. Who are we raiding? Oh,
And
it's
we're gonna
Christy.
raid somebody.
Let's go.
Raid.
Thanks for joining us, y'all.
Have a good night.
Night.
Night, everybody.